Welcome folks, this is a tutorial for a very experimental simulator. I call it the Trade Analyzer. No? The whole point is to be able to analyze any particular positions that we have. So in order to test it, it is Friday and the market is about to close, so I'm going to try a position that I was playing this morning and I got out of it. I lost money on that position. Now Amazon didn't move, but let's try to simulate something. Let's imagine a vertical put spread for Amazon. So just type the name of the underlying you want and click go. Once the option chain is loaded, you can start defining your spread. So let's do a vertical put spread that requires selling a particular strike. So in this case is the 1610 strike. So we go here and look for it, and that's a put. So I put -1 here because I am selling it in the quantity. Then I add another leg where the quantity is 1 and I'm going to buy the 1612.5, which is just a normal vertical put spread. Make sure to put a put here. I quote the position. It's very important to quote the position because it gives me a value. And right now Amazon is at 1624. Let's imagine what happens if it reaches 1615 within the next 70 minutes. So you can select the scale of the simulation from minutes, hours or days. So let's do minutes. And I started at minute 0 so we can see things more in detail if the move happens right away. Enter the 70 minute and every 5 minutes now, so we don't get a lot of information. I'll go over IB change later on. So you can see the simulation results. You can see that if Amazon moves to 1615 right away, the return on the trade will be almost 49 cents. That's based on the cost of the trade, which is 15 cents. The total expected value of the trade will be almost 64 cents. And you can see as time passes, the value gets reduced until it goes to 0. And I guess the market closes around between the minute 45 and the minute 50, the market is closed, so the position goes to 0 really quickly. But it gives you an idea, and of course you can simulate as complex positions as you want. You can add all the legs that you want to the position. Remember to play with the quantities. Buying, you can use 1 or -1. You can use things other than 1. You can use 10, but remember this: the values will be then now scale by the amount that you're buying. But anyway, this is the little simulator. I hope you enjoy it. Let me do another test so you can see why the IB change thing is here for. So we can do like grub. No, grub is, I got a request for it, and let's look at a vertical call spread for next week around 90. Just do it. So let's do let's buy the 88 call, and let's add another short leg, so -1 here for the 8490 call, and let's quote it. So it is around 47 cents right now, and let's simulate this thing. Let's simulate in days, and let's simulate if it touches like 89, and let's simulate the next 8 days every day. Now from 0 to 8 every day, and then we can simulate, and you can see this is the expected return, and of course the earnings release will be here on the 7 and 8 day, and those results are not very realistic because the implied volatility is going to collapse. So let's see if the collapse in implied volatility will change something. So in this case I'm putting a collapse of -0.6, which is 60%. That aligns with the expected collapse that I published for the earnings analysis, and we can simulate again, and we can see it changes very little. It changes very little because of the strikes I'm using. Maybe I can use let's use a different level that is more borderline. Let's do 88, which will see more dramatic effects. And right here we can see the collapse. We're actually losing money on that day, a little bit of money from entry right now. But because the collapse was too much. Without collapse, you will notice that you will be, it will be a little more expensive. It will be 0.37, but with the collapse, it comes down in price. So you can see the effects of the collapse. values. Remember that IB in this particular box is measured from 0 to 1, no? But usually we talk about percentages like 10. So if you want to measure a collapse of 10 points, you have 0.1, minus 0.1. You have to divide by 100 to use that, because I'm using normalized values all over the place. So I don't use percentage base. And this is the trade analyzer, no? Let's do a butterfly for the stock market, so you know how a butterfly. Let's do XPXW. I just click go, but it takes a little longer to load because the option chain is gigantic. But let's do for instance, let's do a butterfly for next week, no? Let's do a butterfly for next week. And let's do 20 white butterfly around 2,650. So I'm going to put, this is the first leg of, and this is a put butterfly. Then I'm going to put a short leg with -2 because a butterfly is -2. 1, -2, 1, if you remember how then I do 2,650 right here. This is a put. Then I add another leg for the A for 2,670. And then this is my butterfly, and I am going to quote it. And the butterfly is actually really cheap. It's 1.6, and it's a 20 white butterfly. You see the width moves between 260, 30 to 60, 2650, 2670. So it seems to be an interesting butterfly. And let's simulate a fall towards that level, like for the next 8 days. And let's no changes in implied volatility, just for the sake of it. And you can see that this butterfly is really nice. I mean, so if the market falls, you start getting tremendous returns based on this entry of 1.45. The entry updates every time that you click the simulate button. You know, it reprices itself. But you know, if a market falls, implied volatility goes up a little bit. In this case, let's imagine that it goes up 5 basis points now. So it goes up from like 12 to 17. And see simulation, you notice that the butterfly changes a little bit, not that much. It's not a lot of influence, but you can, if there is a crash, you know, if the market goes 10%, the butterfly will underperform a little bit. Well, it doesn't underperform that much because it's only 7 days on it. The sensitivity to Vega is not that much. But you get the idea. You can play with this, and of course, the higher expiration you go, the more sensitive to Vega is. But that's the whole point of IB change. The simulator, as I'm doing it right now, is not computing the change for you. The gamma optimizer does compute the change for you, but I just wanted to provide something quick, and so I don't have any stochastic volatility in this simulator. You have to, by hand, simulate the changes in implied volatility. But I'll look into adding a stochastic volatility, so you don't have to put these things here, although it's useful to override stochastic volatility from time to time. So that's it. I hope you enjoy. Of course, any questions that you have, just let me know on the room. And I hope you, play with the tool and see if you can break it and report any errors to me. Thank you, folks.